Alright, good morning, Copper Basin. Intro, I guess. I don't know. So for weather today, we're having a high of 80 and a low of 53. We have our normal high is going to be 79 and normal is going to be 56. Record set was 92 and 38. And then next up on our forecast, we have it's going to be mostly clear, partly cloudy all day. Not any rain chances today, so. And temperatures are gonna get up in the low 70s-ish and be around that. On the allergy forecast, everything's low, which is good. So you don't have to worry about, I think it was trees that was like up in the high not too long ago. So that's calming down a bit. And then next up on the weekly forecast, we have lots of rain. So enjoy today because today is the only day of this week that we are not expecting rain. And temperatures are going to be mostly in the 70s except for Wednesday. So that's what weather's looking like for this week. Once again, I don't have any sports information. School's about to end anyway, so be thinking about what you're going to be taking next year. I think some of you guys have already gotten the paper for that and have already signed up for your classes, so we'll just get into the subject today. The subject today is starting a series, but it's not a long one. It's like a 3-day long series, so we should be done by Thursday. And what it is we're going to be talking about different animals that have gone to space. And the first one here, which is actually, I think, the first living thing that ever sent up into space, were these fruit flies. The word in blue is like its official name, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce it. And like they sent these up there just to see what would happen. And there's the whole Wikipedia. It is Wikipedia, so question the validity of this, but you can read that if you want. But no one came to the show to see a bunch of fruit flies in space, so we actually do have an interesting animal up next. We have dogs. There were a lot of dogs sent into space. The first one being probably Laika, who was aboard Sputnik, and I think Laika was actually nicknamed Muttnik. So this was in 1957, so about a decade before we sent someone to the moon. And she was the first living creature to orbit the Earth, but sadly she did not survive. Rest in peace, Laika. But we also had two other dogs that were sent up into space, which were Belka and Strelka, I believe is how you say that. And they were sent up in 1960, and they actually survived the flight and landed safely. So good for them. And we also have another picture here. I'm not sure which dog this is, but it's one of them. And those dogs were all sent up by the Soviet Union, by the way. That's why the names are kind of, I had trouble pronouncing them a little bit, but, so that's, some of the first animals that were in space, and, we'll be looking into some others, on, Wednesday and Thursday, so come back for that, I guess. For lunch today, we're having either chicken fajita or salad bar, and breakfast tomorrow is going to be French toast. And we have one birthday today. Chloe Blue is having a birthday, so if you see her, tell her happy birthday. And it's going to be it for the show today. Come back tomorrow to see what other helpless creatures were blasted off into space.